welcome back to my channel. Today we're going over our new curriculum, which is War and Combat Curriculum. The reason I chose this is my writing is oftenly going to be based around a type of war or like things that like some type of battle of some kind. So I need to understand how to properly write them, properly understand different terminologies and all that. So that is what I'm going to dive into. And at this curriculum, I also am going to add TV shows and movies. Obviously, I'm not going to learn as much through those, but I will add those just a little bit in there. But I have a lot to read and cover for this course. So this course might be a long one. I think it will. I do kind of want springtime to be a little bit more about romance, because that's another thing I really need to get into, but that'll be like late March if I do. I guess it depends on how fast I'm going through this curriculum. I don't really have a good time frame yet for how long my curriculums are going to be. I'm just figuring this out as we go, I guess. It's not good, but it is probably good to give myself some more structure so that way I am actually meeting deadlines and such. So I should probably do that. But this curriculum, there's once I tell you the books, and most of these that I picked are like entire series, right? Ooh, she scared me. I didn't know she was in there. Anyway, they're all series, and they're like mostly three, like a trilogy. So yeah, let's see. So I put as my course objective understanding terms, fighting strategies, and fantasy wars to create the scene. My main focus is obviously learning about fantasy wars. My goal is to understand and be able to write a battle. I am excited for seeing different ways you can create a battle, how to make a strong and emotional scene. Because when it comes to battles, that is one thing that will definitely be there. So books for this course, okay? It's a long one. I'll show you. A whole list. And I think there's another side. Oh, the other side is movies. But it's not that many movies and TV shows. It is one of them's a really long TV show though, but that's okay. So let's start with what I have. Rot and Ruin series. That's one I read a long time ago, so long ago. If you're watching this, you should read those with me. I have Divine Rivals, the Priority Tree collection, because I heard they come out with some more, so I gotta get those. Red Rising series, Spark series, I think that's what it's called, Spark, I don't know. Babel, which I'm pretty sure is just a standalone, hopefully, because I have too much. The Shadow of Gods, the Serpent of and the Wing series, Sunrise on the Reaping, which is only one book because I did read The Hunger Games, the other book, which I didn't really enjoy that much. Mistborn series, Shields of Sparrows, Twilight series. And then some extras I might add is Shatter Me series and Hunger Games. The only reason those are more questions is because I read them already. Hunger Games is pretty easy to remember. I've read it a couple times, I think. And I've watched the movie, so it's not as hard to remember what happened. But Shatter Me series, I read like it's been a year actually, maybe a little over a year or less than a year. But well, my brain, it goes everywhere, and I don't remember very much about what happened. Like the book I read like a month ago, I probably still have to refresh on. So this is how I am. Now let's go over the TV and movies I got Game of Thrones. I got Wendy Wu. These are some what we've seen. Hopefully you've seen. The Witcher. That one will be new for me. The Game of Thrones I've only ever watched like a couple episodes, so anyway, Atlantis, The Lost Empire, and the one that goes after that I'll probably watch as well. And then I got my questions. What words are commonly used? How does the military structures look with humans and non-humans? Because, that could be, I know sometimes they can be a little different. Like, obviously, A Court of Thorns and Roses, humans are seen as, like, lower, and Fae is seen as, like, queens and kings, you know, and then on top of that, there's a hierarchy on top of that. So, what type of tactics? What type of tactics are oftenly used? Are there common reasons of war? Are there unique weapons involved? How does the war change the society? And if you guys have recommendations, please give them to me. A lot of these are me actually reading, so that is going to be a bit rough for me. I do have some that are audible that I have been listening audibly, I mean. Like, I already actually read Shields of Sparrows. That was a good one. I'll probably read several of these, hopefully. But I own a lot of them, so I will be trying to get to them. But I have not been reading very fast lately. I'm sure I know I said this in my last video. My routine is still getting itself together. It has gotten better. I've been tired because waking up at 5 in the morning is not an easy task to complete. Like, sometimes I'll feel fine in the morning and then I'll be tired. So as you can see, I have a lot of books to catch up on because Rot and Ruin series, I think, is like 5 books. The Poppy War series, thankfully that one I'm listening to audibly. So that is, I think, a trilogy. Just know when I listen, I don't get as much in depth as I do reading, which is why I think reading is a little bit more important to me when it comes to like objectives that are helping me with my writing. Divine Rivals I'll be reading. The Priority Tree reading. Yeah, I'll be reading. Oh, Babel I'll be listening to. The Shadow of Gaza I shall be listening to. Sunrise on the Reaping I'll be listening to if I can get it in time. I should probably look into that now so I can be prepared. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's kind of short. I thought it would be longer, to be honest, because I said a lot. But, you know, less for me to edit, so that's nice. Also, I have been better at like talking more smoothly, so there's not as much to edit, which helps a lot for me because I hate editing. And one day when my YouTube kicks off, hopefully soon, I'll be hiring one of y'all to edit these videos, okay? I hate editing. I really do. The shorts aren't that hard to edit. It's really just these longs. Especially whenever, you know, you mess up or you got to take a big space and time. But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you guys enjoy this curriculum. I hope you guys will read this curriculum with me. I know I don't usually get through every book that I say I'm going to, but I swear to you, I am trying. The movies, obviously easy to get. The TV shows, I don't know how long The Witcher is, but I know Game of Thrones is a long one. And I could watch, I think it's called The House of Dragon. That one is also pretty long. Well, I don't know if it's long, but it's like I think it's like before, what happened before Games of Thrones type thing. Obviously, I kind of want to finish Games of Thrones first just because I already started and it came out first, so I just feel like that makes sense in my head. And Atlantis, I already know it, but I think whenever I do my curriculums, I like to try to really immerse my brain into it and write. I need to have a note section and start writing down my notes, annotating, but obviously when it's audibly, especially at work, because that's when I'm listening to it, you can't really annotate. And I think that's one reason I am better at, especially like when it comes to my writing, reading a book that's like similar in some type of way that I need to learn. It's letting me see the words and how to form them and understand like how to create this imagery into your heads and into my own head. Because I understand as a writer, sometimes you write something and because you already see it, you're not being very descriptive about it. And I think that's something that I may need to work on a little bit, or just learning how to be descriptive in general, really. But obviously, I'm still on my first draft for this book. I'm trying to be a lot more disciplined in finishing. I need to actually write. I believe my next video might be a book vlog, so you will see me writing in there. I hope you guys will join me on that. But that's the end of this video. That's all I got for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you for watching. Bye.